Sepupus, you probably know by this point that we have the ultimate ambassador designate, alpha male, make America great again, finest ambassador candidate on this side of the South China Sea. If you were not done rejoicing, I'm sorry to tell you, but your perfect joy is in danger. For now, regrettably, we must ask, what will happen if we cancel Nick Adams? Sepupus, go along the internet now, and there you will see that there's a small movement right now to cancel Nick Adams as ambassador to Malaysia. It's a movement led by Zaid Ibrahim, who honestly I haven't taken seriously ever since he told us that we should give past a chance. But see, he's followed by someone I respect a bit more, and that is Khairy Jamaluddin. And here they are, this dynamic duo, telling Wisma Putra to reject alpha male under the Vienna Convention of Diplomatic Relations, granting every receiving state the discretion to approve or reject the proposed ambassador without giving any reason. Technically, if he violates a whole ton of rules, the Malaysian government is at liberty to say like, look, you know what? We're not having this ambassador, let's go right ahead and kick him out. So for all we know, it could just be a matter of time that he gets kicked out, if not now, at the point of appointment, then later on. Terpaling sovereignty, amazing, truly wonderful. I mean, no! How could you? My steak grilling sessions at the US Embassy, saving the world from soy boys, and Hooters restaurants in Kelantan. No! But you know, jokes aside, I kind of understand where they're coming from, you know, like the whole Muslim country and everything. Tweets against radical Islam, which could be justified. Influencer, no decorum, probably the weirdest ambassador appointment in the entire world. That pretty much makes people think that Trump was just throwing away a random dude off to Malaysia so that he can have a long-distance bromance. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, the vibe, he did not send us his best, to say the very least. But still, I think this is probably gonna cause some problems. So I mean, yeah, like, we have that Article 4 right, and we can deal with it, theoretically, but I guess my question is, what are the consequences? Whatever they're gonna be, I can guess that they're not gonna be pretty. If Trump's not too busy with the Epstein files, I can imagine that he'll make a Truth Social post like this, celebrating his beautiful relationship with Nick Adams. There are probably more that could come out, but that's just a start. For all we know, we'll get cuts on development funding, whatever's left of it, since he basically destroyed US aid. But in all seriousness, there'll probably be freezes on bilateral and diplomatic meetings. Tariff, 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 baby. And the next thing you know, maybe an executive order for every US company to pull out of Malaysia, while AmCham completely loses it. I mean, for all we know, maybe he's gonna see reason and realize that sending over a MAGA influencer with no diplomatic experience is probably not the best idea if you actually want to do diplomacy with Malaysia, let alone somebody with a history of comments that will instantly make him the enemy of almost every Muslim in Malaysia. Unless of course that's part of the design and Donald J. Trump is deliberately trying to provoke us, or maybe he doesn't care, I don't really know. But I don't know if this is a dude that you can actually reason with, because like, if you look at the way that he behaves, he always has some very specific things that he wants, one of which is loyalty, which of course you're definitely going to get from this dude who seems to be in a love affair with Donald J. Trump himself. So no, I don't know if there's going to be a part where this ends up improving our relationship with the United States of America, per Zaid Ibrahim's wishful thinking. And for all we know, DJT could reply by saying, well, you sent an ambassador with no diplomatic experience the last time, and now you're saying that we can't? Now, while it is probably true that this guy would be better than your average Bersatu PAS loser appointee, I feel like TBH, one of our best shots is that we team up with Singapore and then both of us end up rejecting our ambassadors. Us the alpha male and they the doctor who can barely string a sentence together. As we go all like, send us a new one please because this is unacceptable. For all you know, that's what's gonna make him come around, like, I don't know. But seriously, if we can't convince the man with trouble, I guess the easier way is to just convince him that this will be a lot less work. I mentioned in the previous video that we already have Edgar Kagan. Now, a lot of people don't know that he's only been working for about 16 months, but he's a career diplomat, that's why he gets to stay across administrations. We're gonna have to wait for the Senate confirmation anyway, and for the foreseeable future, we are still gonna be having Edgar Kagan. And in the time that he was our US ambassador to Malaysia, he did a pretty good job. Like, definitely was a support. He didn't trigger any hot button issues or anything, and he even stood up for freedom of speech for Malaysians in a way that I think showed us the very best that America can send, and did send, into Malaysia.
But we'll think hard about kicking alpha male.
I mean, like, it's very easy to go out there and say that, oh, we should not be bullied. Oh, like, this is going to be bad. This person offends our sensibilities, but there's a real cost associated with doing something like that, which you actually have to consider as you ask yourself, like, is it worth it? Well, I have no idea about that. But for me as a citizen, it's more of like, would it not be entertaining if we had him? So I guess we'll just have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Either way, I'm sure that'll be interesting. As always, this is your Sepupus. That's all I have to say about that, and bye.